KZ Vibe X do one thing and one thing only exceptionally well. Everything else that the KZ Vibe X do is kind of what I would say average to even below average for other categories. But they do this one thing, which is recreate the feeling of being in a club and the tactile sensation that you get when listening to bassy music so well that it's actually kind of changed what I've been listening to recently just because I want to have the opportunity to use the KZ Vibe X and experience tactile, three-dimensional, large room feeling bass in a way that I can't do with any other IEM. Now, in today's in-depth review of the KZ Vibe X, we're going to talk a little bit more about the sound of these, talk about the build, design, and kind of ergonomics of them, talk about one of the biggest flaws that these have outside of the only doing deep bassy music really well, and then finally come down to who might want to buy the KZ Vibe X and if they're a good deal or the right fit for you. And if you're new around here, my name is Mitchell. I like to make videos about mobile audio tech, things like IEMs, truly wireless headphones, mobile DACs, and more. And if you guys like that, think about subscribing or hitting me up on Instagram and Threads with your questions, because I'm doing everything I can to answer as many IEM questions as possible for you guys. Now, I want to circle back around and talk a little bit more about the overall listening experience and the way the KZ Vibe X sound. Now, I've got some notes over here to make sure I don't screw this up. This is from a recent can jam that I've done with a kind of group of audiophile buddies. So first, let's kind of speed run what you can expect when listening to these. So KZ claims that they can go down to 5 hertz, which is extremely low. In fact, it's bass that you can't even necessarily hear, but it's bass that you can feel. Now, this creates like a sense of rumble because KZ has a specific driver, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty of those technical bits in a little bit, but they have a specific driver that's just meant to replicate tactile bass that you can feel and kind of rumble in your ear. Everything else about the tuning of these is essentially their 10mm driver from the KZ Zenith, and then a very large open vented shell. And this gives you the kind of feeling and sensation of having a very large and expansive soundstage with really decent imaging that kind of gives you this intimate, yet at the same time, large room kind of feeling when listening to music. It's a very tactile based experience. Now, the mid-range of these is pretty well tuned and just kind of inoffensive in that you get a lot of clarity out of the mid-range, you get a decent amount of vocal separation, and because they have this like extra kind of tuned driver for rumble, you don't get very much kind of like sub-bass bleed over into the rest of the sound spectrum. So the mids and kind of vocals sound nice and kind of well separated from kind of the more mid-bass and kind of just lower end of the spectrum. They have a very kind of V-shaped sound signature, and I'll try to throw a squig link up for you guys to show you guys specifically kind of what they sound like. But highs are just kind of inoffensive, kind of more delicately tuned so that they are easy to listen to, I guess would be the best way to say it. I never am getting much of a sense of like semblance. The highs feel very kind of smooth and kind of glossed over and very safe so that you could listen to these for a long period of time without having kind of ear fatigue. The bass response, I guess you would say, like with the rumble, can sometimes feel a bit, I don't want to say sloppy, but just a little bit kind of not that well controlled or not that tight. But I don't get a huge sense of like bleed over, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Now, talking about some of the technical specs of these for you guys, you are going to have the impedance of 20 ohms. So these are really easy to drive. You don't need a specific like high-end DAC, although with the Fozzy Audio MD3, it's one of the newest MagSafe DACs from Fozzy. They sound really, really good It's your kind of standard KZ style 0.78 millimeter 2-pin connector. We have an average retail price of right around $40. It's a 10 millimeter dynamic driver from the KZ Zenith, and then the 13 millimeter ultra low frequency vibration driver, as KZ is calling it. Talking about the kind of overall build and design of these, one of kind of my biggest gripes with KZ is they reuse a lot of their shell shapes. And they do this to kind of cut costs. So you have what is essentially a very similar kind of inner half as you would on a variety of other KZ headphones, but then the outer portion of it is so big, these are not going to be small ear friendly. I don't really like this kind of tactic or style that KZ is doing, using a split part design and reusing a lot of the same shells, because it ends up making the headphones very big, very kind of lugubrious and uncomfortable to use. They do have a large kind of mesh vent on the outside, and they have a little gold detail. The outside portion of it feels like metal, but then you get this really cheap rattling sound from that 13 millimeter vibration dampener or 13 millimeter vibration driver. And I don't know if you guys can hear that, but when I first got these, I thought that they were broken just because of how loose and kind of floppy that vibration damper sounded. And that's not a very reassuring thing if you're putting out your hard-earned money to pick up a pair of these. So I just want to preface that. The next thing that you guys have to be aware of is that these have had problems. These have been recalled, or maybe recalled is the wrong term, but for people that have been testing these or people that have gotten the KZ Vibe X early, KZ sent out a second pair of the KZ Vibe X because the first pair had issues with tuning and the kind of bass crossover and that 13 millimeter driver. And so I've actually gotten another pair of KZ Vibe X that are brand new, unopened, but according to KZ, those are factory defects, I guess. I've also broken headphones from KZ. Should I talk about that and KZ build quality? So this is kind of difficult for me to recommend this IEM because, as according to KZ, they have had problems with quality control and tuning. So that's kind of what you have to expect with a lot of headphones from KZ. I've had this issue with a variety of other headphones from them. So build quality is definitely going to be questionable for the KZ Vibe X. And I want to kind of come back to the question that we had at the beginning of this video, which is if you have one pair of IEMs that do one thing exceptionally well and then everything else in a kind of average or mediocre fashion, are they good IEMs? And I think my answer to that is that these are very niche IEMs. Now, for people outside of the IEM world, you might be familiar with the brand Skull Candy. Skull Candy does wireless headphones, and they've been doing wireless headphones for a while, which kind of focus or emphasize on flashy build and design and then bass. And Skull Candy has done a variety of different headphones that utilize similar technology to this, and it's really like a bass head headphone. What that means is that if you are looking for a pair of IEMs to listen to, like deep house, tech house, some genres of hip hop, you want to have bass that feels very much like you're at a club and the music is actually rattling your ears, then the KZ Vibe X are perfect for you. At the same time, if you're only going to buy one pair of IEMs, you want something that's a little bit more versatile, you care a little bit more about build quality and design, and you care about like quality control and, worry about getting a lemon pair and having to send them back, I would be careful about buying these, and I don't know if I would recommend them. But if you want something to listen to house music and you want tactile bass, this delivers tactile, three-dimensional, very spatially kind of accurate feeling bass and low end that really rattles your skull without it being kind of abrasive or hard to listen to, which is kind of unique. So these are a niche product. And if you guys want to check out more videos similar to this, I will have links to where you can do so. Like I did a review of these on What's DAC, which is my show where I take one pair of IEMs and I use a bunch of different DACs, talk about how much the sound changes when we use it with a high-end source, etc. And I'll have links to that right here. If you guys want to check out my desktop tech channel, I'll have links where you can do so right here. And until next time, it's been Mitchell.